Everybody, welcome to Foster Care, an unparalleled journey. Today I'm going to sit down with my daughter and talk through some questions with her and hear her side of the story about foster care from a kid who grew up through the system and being adopted. It's a totally different perspective that I don't know that I know what I'm going to hear, so I'll be hearing it for the first time with you guys. Hey everybody, we are here with Jahnyia Palmer today. You may hear me refer to her as Nani off and on because that's just her other name. That's her secret alias from back when she worked for the CIA, and we don't talk about that time anymore, do we? Alright, but Jahnyia came to us when she had just turned 2 years old, and she has been with us ever since, and now she is, I'm going to say 12 years old. Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
So for 10 years now?
Mm-hmm.
Jahnyia and her brother Deshaun came to us together. They were actually our very first foster placement and ended up staying full time. So I was going to sit here and ask her a few questions today because there's some things that I think would be great questions to get as a perspective from her side of the table. Because I know what I think. And I think most of my answers are right, but I'm curious what her answers are. See if she's as right as I am. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah? You think you'd be as right as me?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Let's just jump into it. The first question I have is, what does the word family mean to you?
Someone that's always there. Someone you can look forward to seeing whenever you go home. Stuff like that.
Okay. What's the difference between biological family and other types of families? You know, we've had foster kids with us, and we've have adopted kids. What does that mean to you?
I don't know. It's kind of complicated because, like, biological family doesn't really mean anything other than like she gave birth to you and stuff.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Well, you know we've been doing foster care for like a decade now, right?
Yeah, you guys are old.
Oh my, she's not wrong on that one, I guess. But we've been doing foster care for a decade or so now. So my question for you is, why do you think we do foster care?
Mom had a rough childhood and she always wanted to make life better for kids and stuff. I don't know about you.
I'm not always an open book. What do you think about foster care? Do you think we should keep doing it?
Depends on the age. Babies, yes. Older kids, like, no 4-year-olds. No 5-year-olds.
Why no 4-year-olds or 5-year-olds? I'm curious.
Because they're trouble. Especially Frankie.
You're not wrong.
He's a handful.
He is a handful. I don't know if we need any more handfuls like that right away.
And a half.
How do you think, having been involved with, you know, not only through the foster care system, because you probably don't remember most of that, I would guess. You know?
No, not really.
Yeah, you were only 2. You know, and being involved with the rest of the family as we've gone through this journey over the last 10 years, how do you think it's helped you?
If I was with my biological parents and stuff, I probably wouldn't be as healthy. I'd probably be, like, smoking weed somewhere or something.
That doesn't sound like a great plan.
No, not really. But I wouldn't really have anybody to teach me that that's not okay.
Yeah, that's always a possibility. Do you think it's hurt you in any way?
What do you mean?
Are there parts of your story that are hurtful to look at?
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Like how my mom was, like, kind of responsible, I guess. Not 100%. But, I mean, if she would have asked for the drugs, then, I mean, I wouldn't be here right now, so.
Yeah, but, you know, that's a shame when somebody else's decisions affect you that strongly. Why do you think we should keep doing foster care?
So we can help out other kids that need help.
What could have made this whole journey easier for you, do you think?
I don't know.
Any ideas at all?
No.
Okay. Do your friends know your story about, you know, where you came from when you were little and that? Do you talk about that with your friends?
Some of them. My close friends.
Yeah.
Not many of them know it, though. I don't like talking about it that much.
I can understand that. How do you think your connection to some of your biological family has shaped your opinions on how your life has gone?
What do you mean by that? Like, we see Jin Jin.
How do you think having some of those connections with your Aunt Jennifer and Jackie and Grandma Virginia, you know, before we lost her, how do you think that's kind of shaped your view of the whole system and your experience? And, you know, what do you think about all that?
It can be hard sometimes, not being able to see your family all that much. Like Grandma Virginia, we didn't see her that much.
Yeah, we didn't see her that much, did we?
No.
It's a shame, man. She was, and Grandma Virginia was a good lady. I liked Grandma Virginia.
Yeah.
I really did. What is it like being in middle school and having a story of foster care and adoption? Because I remember middle school. I know I'm old and all, but when I went to middle school and we were writing on stone tablets and stuff like we did back in the old days, it wasn't much fun back then. I don't think it wasn't completely horrible, but it was a challenging time for sure. And so, what's it like being in middle school and having a story that some people know about, having been in foster care and adoption and some of those other things?
I mean, sometimes I can get a little nervous knowing that my biological mom is looking for me. Like, I don't want her to come to the school or anything.
Yeah. Well, that's a good point, because we've talked about your bio mom some, and I know that she has some connection with somebody related to a friend of yours, right? Like Kira, that's right. She has a connection to Kira's uncle or something like that.
They're married.
Okay. And so what's that like with her knowing some of your friends? How does that make you feel? I mean, does it make you feel scared or embarrassed or sad or happy or?
It's hard to describe. It's like a mix of everything.
Yeah, a mix of what?
Like scared, sad, and happy all together.
What part of it scares you?
I know she wants to see us, so I wouldn't want her to come to the school and take us or anything. Because, I don't know if she's clean or not. I don't know what she does anymore or anything.
Yeah, and that's a reasonable fear. I mean, I'm not going to disagree with you. But, I'm sorry?
Some people that do drugs are, abusive and stuff.
Some people are. But you do know that the school knows that if their last name is wrong, they don't get to pick you up. They have to know the person who picks you up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I make sure that every year I talk with the administration, especially if we have a new principal like we do this year. I talk to them every year and just make sure they're aware that that's something that they have to put on your file, and that's in there. So that's one of the ways we can kind of keep that safety net up for you. You said it makes you feel happy in some ways too. Talk about that a little bit.
I mean, sometimes I want to see her. Some part of me wants to see her, and some of me doesn't. I haven't seen her in a long time.
I can understand that for sure. What about other people who come from your past? Maybe people who knew you when you were a baby, or, people who know who you are, but you really don't know them. Like when we were at the pumpkin patch the other day, and some woman came up and gave you a hug and said she hasn't seen you in so long, and then she just kind of disappeared into the crowd before we could really even figure out who she was. That really seemed like it bothered you.
Yeah, because, a lot of people act like they know me, but I don't know them, and then they just hug me, and it makes me a little uncomfortable. Because I don't know, it's like some stranger walking up to you and hugging you.
Strangers don't walk up and hug me usually.
Yeah, I know.
I wonder why. Any guesses?
No, none at all.
Not at all, she says. But I'm just so cute, Nani.
No.
No. Cold. That's what I get all the time. We talked about middle school and how it's kind of hard in some ways for you, with people knowing your story. But, you're always going to know your story. And I think you should know that Mom and I are both proud of you for a lot of reasons. And I'm curious, what part of your story are you most proud of?
What do you mean proud?
I mean proud. What do you look at? What part of your story do you look at and think, wow, I did the right thing there. I've worked hard at this. I've done good. I'm glad that I made these choices.
I don't know. Maybe not stuck on my dad's death all the time. I'm not sad all the time. I'm not gloomy and depressed.
Yeah, I think that's something worth being proud of, because that could be really hard. That is hard for most people when you lose somebody. So what do you think about whenever you do think about the topic of your dad's death?
I don't know. I haven't really thought about it in a long time.
That's fair enough. I don't know is a reasonable answer to some questions, but not all of them. Are there parts of your story that are hard to talk to other people about?
Yeah.
Like what?
How my mom was messed up and she was stealing and stuff. Some people think that just because your parent did something means automatically that you're gonna do it. so they don't always have that much trust.
Why do you think somebody wouldn't trust you because of something your parent did?
Because, like, some people think just because your parent did something means you're gonna do it. Like, I don't really have a good example. Like, I don't know, say your parents steal something, and you grow up in that environment and stuff, and then, so you're gonna steal, I guess.
Yeah, sometimes people do make assumptions based on who you are and where you came from. And then sometimes it's true and sometimes it's not. And I think for you it'd be completely untrue, you know? You left that situation before you were even old enough to really be influenced by it. So what do you think Mom and I could have done to have made the whole experience easier for you?
I don't know. Nothing really. Wasn't that hard.
What do you think we did that maybe made it a little harder than it needed to be? This is your opportunity to tell me what mistakes I made.
I don't know.
It's okay. I promise. You can tell me if there's something you thought I should have done differently.
I have to think.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't know? Okay. Are you happy with who you are today?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me what parts you're proud of who you turned out to be.
Like, what am I proud of about myself?
Yeah.
That I kind of left the situation in the past. I don't really hold on to it or hold grudges. Like, kind of gotta let it go.
That's a good answer. What would you say to people who are thinking about doing foster care, who are kind of probably scared of doing it themselves?
I would say good for them. Like, if you want to help some people, then that's good.
Would you have any advice for them?
I don't know.
I think you say I don't know a lot.
I know.
Okay. Well, I don't think I have any more questions for you right now. But I appreciate you sitting down and answering my questions. Well, that was it for my interview with Jahnyia. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to our conversation and could take something away from it. Be sure and check us out on the website over at jasonmpalmer.com. We've got a blog over there if you'd like to look at that. And check us out on the Facebook page at She Called Me Daddy, and we'll look forward to seeing you on the next one.